Welcome to the listening field, a place of quiet remembrance. You don't need to do anything, just listen. Today, I am reading a short piece titled The Sacred Interface Between Soul and Form. A body is not a container, it is a living current. Old stories we were told. If you're like me, you probably learned to say, "Bless you," when someone sneezes, out of courtesy and also in the hopes that their soul wasn't expelled from their body with nothing foreign entering in its place. At least that's the origin story of why we say "bless you" that I was told. It points to another story, how the soul supposedly gets into the body. You know this one. The soul descends from heaven at birth, resides somewhere on its perch near the lungs, registers your good and bad deeds on a scroll, and upon death floats upward to the great scales of judgment. The flesh container? No longer needed. It's the Tupperware of incarnation, disposable after use. If that sounds cold, mechanical, disconnected, and dull, that's because it is. It matches the tone of the old paradigm we've been living. But what if none of that is true? What if the body is not a container for the soul at all? What if it's a sacred interface, not a cage, but a living current? The old paradigm was disembodied. The old story isn't just outdated, it's disembodied. It turns the body into a forgotten storage unit and the soul into a mysterious, dusty artifact, waiting to be released. Under that paradigm, pain becomes punishment, while pleasure becomes temptation. The body is something to overcome. The soul is something to earn. And aliveness? Merely a test, a waiting room for the real thing. It's no wonder we've struggled to feel whole, searching for meaning and true aliveness. We were taught to live split, fractured, apart. A new story emerges. But there's another story, one that doesn't come from doctrine, but from your cells, your breath, your tears, your remembering. In this story, the soul doesn't descend from above. It braids with the body, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. The body isn't a passive container. It's a translator, a partner, a bridge. The soul chose this form, not to escape it, but to experience itself through it. What if your grief isn't a problem to fix, but a frequency asking to be witnessed? What if your body aches, not because it's broken, but because it remembers something you forgot? What if you haven't been able to hear your soul clearly because you've been trying to listen through the wrong frequency band, tuned to the static of the old paradigm? The sacred interface. The body is not a box, a chamber, or a holding cell. It is a sacred interface, a living threshold between spirit and matter. Here, memory becomes liberation. Emotion becomes energy in motion. Presence becomes portal. Your body is not separate from your soul's journey. It is the journey, vibrating, echoing, translating soul into form. The heartbeat is not mechanical. It is musical. And the more you listen, the more it speaks. The more you honor it, the more you remember who you truly are. In closing, a gentle turning inward. So the next time you sneeze, maybe you don't need to worry about your soul escaping. Maybe it's never been in or out at all, but everywhere, woven into your fascia, your voice, your longing, your laughter. The sacred has always been here, not above, not after, here in the interface. Thank you for listening.